Hey everybody, it's Camo Dave. Letters for the 4th of September 2021. I was talking about nomadic security issues. We've done too many stories here on the Camo Dave news channel about nomads who have met untimely endings in deserted or isolated parks, strange people around, stuff like that. A lot of dangers, sure, from the mountain lions and the bears, but even more, I think, from the other human beings. Got a couple of good tips from some folks today in the letters. Go Frugal says, when you park, go in your GPS and take a picture of your longitude and latitude and send it to your family. And do this on a regular basis so everybody knows exactly where you are in case they don't hear from you again, huh? Not a bad idea. Lindy and Lovey says, this happened to me. I jumped in front and drove away. I have not gone back, and this was in a town. When she, I guess, was approached by a strange person. If you have a vehicle where your sleeping area and your driver's area are in the same structure, like a van or certain kinds of camper vans where you can literally go from your bed to the steering wheel, the driver's seat, and take off, that's good. If you have to leave the vehicle or go around to the front door or go from a trailer into the truck, that can be a problem. Gregory says, I see people on various social media platforms proudly stating that they're safe because they have protection and they know how to use it. How ignorant and stupid can a person be? Might as well tell everyone, shoot me through the window. If you have a defensive device, keep it to yourself. You won't be boisterous and proud. You'll simply be DEAD. Oh, Fear to Trek Ray says, while dispersed camping in my Class B or Class C, I'm always prepared to roll for whatever reason. Nothing is left outside or unlocked. It's just personal security that I've naturally lived by for decades. Donzi Da Vinci says, I couldn't decide between doing a cargo trailer or a Class B. I went with a Class B because I can jump in the front seat and go without getting out of my car/van. Yeah. Rometown Girl says, just happened to me. I found myself camping all by myself with no neighbors. I came 7 miles down a very rough road. Max speed in a bigger RV was 5 to 10 miles to get here. So a fast escape would not be possible. On the 5th night, I was awakened to something outside at 3:30 a.m. The dogs heard it too, but didn't bark. I was too afraid to even look out my windows, but I was always boondocked where I do have a cell signal. I immediately made a post to one of my FB, Facebook, I guess, boondocking groups, and they gave me some great ideas and much needed fear reduction support. With the light of day, I investigated and thought it was an animal. I learned that there are deer, elk, and bears there. The next day, I did get a new neighbor and I felt much better. P.S. For me, just driving away would have been a challenge because I have my slides out and I'm on my levelers and I have a dog pen set up and attached to my solar panels on the ground, etc., etc. Can you imagine? Wow. That is true. You set up a campsite, you got levelers, you got slides, you got whatever. Yeah, it's going to be awful hard to just take off, right? Jay Wagner says, have a couple of security cams, and most important, have very visible signs that say security cams in use. You can even buy fake security cams and add them to the outside of your RV. Make the bad people decide to move on to a different area where they are not on a cam. A fake camera is not a bad idea. It doesn't cost much, and I've seen those in certain hardware stores. They're just dummy cameras, but somebody sees that up there and they're going to be at least less likely to bother you. City Girl says, cameras, and a huge dog, plus a gun and taser. That should do the trick. Mr. Test Shoot says, get a ham radio for when there is no service or no cell service. That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Wait, who do you call on the ham radio, though? Somebody over in China? Or Larry at 5280 says, I hear you, Dave. Just last week I was camping on BLM land and a vehicle drove past and blew his horn. Then he stopped and walked up to me. He said, I wasn't trying to be rude by blowing my horn. My dog jumped on my lap and accidentally tooted the horn. Just a nice couple visiting Colorado from New Jersey. So I decided not to shoot them. But you are correct, Dave. There were some crazy people out there, and that you should always be aware of your surroundings. On the other hand, if you are always just afraid, then just stay home. You won't enjoy the experience. All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching for a little bit of letters. Again, thanks for all the safety tips. Go on the comments on my video from this morning, which is entitled, what's it called? Nomad Security Issues. Stay safe and get ready to move. And there's lots of good tips from all my wonderful Camo Dave Army members. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. I'll talk to you later. Vlog under.